expenses were incurred in the conduct of city business, and I've attached original receipts pertaining to the above expenses. But my point in highlighting on the state form is that the concept is I didn't know I was getting the mileage, and then when I found out, I paid it back. It's very difficult to believe that that happened 9 times in the face of Ms. Ponce's statement, in the face of, and it's this particular one in August, and also on one of the other reimbursement forms, where it is clear, because of the ink difference, that it was Mayor Fretti himself that filled in the mileage. So to say, well, you know, I asked for mileage from the city because I didn't know I was getting it over here, that falls flat on its face when you look at the evidence of Ms. Ponce. When you look at, now not on all of them, and it's clear Ms. Ponce filled out the mileage on some of them, but on at least 2 and perhaps a third, it is clear that Mayor Fretti filled out the mileage and signed it.
But your argument is not that any of the mileage or any of the information on that sheet is dishonest?
No, sir. On the Department of Community Affairs form, this is absolute. Mayor Fretti was 100% entitled to every bit of this. Period.
That did come to you further?
No, sir. That did not. The point is that when he, and Georgia, by the way, those statutes that I cited, they don't say this only applies if it's down at the bottom, you committing a crime if you put something false on here. Okay, it just so happens that the state has that on its form. But the point is that it's clear that Mayor Fretti knew the expenses he was getting from the Department of Community Affairs, contrary to statements made to the press. And the false statement comes in when he turned in the expense sheet to the city of Valdosta. Otherwise, we might be going to whatever ethical inquiry at the state level. We're not. And that's been the point all along. Yes, sir.
What you're saying that instead of getting the mileage for what is 400 and some miles from Atlanta to Valdosta or whatever it's back, that he's actually getting it 2 times.
Yes, sir.
From the state and from Valdosta.
Yes, on 9 different occasions.
Now, one question I have. Okay, in the $600 car line, is that just for his travel here to Valdosta, or is it for other meetings also that he has to attend, the $600?
Mr. Chairman, I would direct that question to the city attorney on that, because I'm not sure what went into, I don't know the legislative history behind that car allowance.
The mayor, department heads, city of Valdosta, get a monthly car allowance of $600. Okay.
Now,
Well, it's up to you. I got that wrong. He gets a car allowance of $600. I think the River Fair Council also, I can't remember the figure, get a car allowance.
okay, now the question.
Travel expense, they don't get a car allowance. I'm wrong.
Travel expenses for $600. Now, does that include a special meeting, like 1 year and 10 years? So that's still,
If he has a special meeting,
yes.
we cover any travel costs.
Any other questions? And to follow up on that, Mr. Chairman, that's a great question. To follow up on that, I think it's instructive, now, not the travel policy in effect at the time of these events, but the new travel policy, which I think is pretty widely accepted. The new travel policy is a result of the questions asked about Mayor Fretti's travel expenses. The new travel policy of the city that's in effect now provides that because of the car allowance, those who get the car allowance only get half mileage reimbursement, not full mileage reimbursement. So I would suggest that based upon that development, that at least part of that $600 a month car allowance reflects into the fact that sometimes the mayor is going to go out of town. Not all of it, because certainly there's local travel too. But if you look at the evolution of the travel policy, I think it's pretty safe to say that at least part, as it is now recognized, at least part of that travel, the car allowance, is for out-of-town travel.
Okay, and if he does not use it all, does it go back to the city?
No, sir, the car allowance, he just gets it, period.
Let me make sure I understood, I said, I've got to clear it up with you. The mayor gets the car allowance, the other members of the mayor council won't get a car allowance.
That was my understanding. That was my understanding.
They have said in the budget so much travel expense. Each member of the group as a whole.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure how to ask this question, but what caused Mr. Taylor to begin looking specifically at Mayor Freddie's travel expense?
He was approached by a citizen who had some, but not all, of these travel expense reimbursement requests, both from the Department of Community Affairs and from the city. And this particular person, for a number of reasons, did not want to go any further with it, but brought it to him, and that's how we got it. And then I followed up on that with an open records request that updated the information we received from the Department of Community Affairs. Any other questions? Thank you very much.